Fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hand. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.
Hi, welcome to Healing Outside the Box. I'm Rosemary Lachance, an energy healer and a spiritual teacher.
Hi, and I'm Dina, Scungio, a student and teacher of spirituality.
We are co-hosts for this thought-provoking series and are dedicated to providing you with food for thought information and answers to all modalities of alternative healing, spiritual development, animal welfare, environmental concerns, and so much more in the form of guest speakers who are experts in their fields. This series is recorded and will be shown in your area on your local public service cable network. Please contact them for dates and times.
If you have a group that you think would be interested in what we have to offer, we are available to come to your group and teach. We will give you our contact information at the end of the show. Please visit Rosemary's website and click on My TV Show, where you will find a wealth of information about the show. Our shows are available to watch free on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in Healing Outside the Box, and you'll find a list of the shows. We're constantly adding new shows, so keep checking back. We are also on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box, and please go there and like our page, and you'll find out all the latest information about the show. And we hope you enjoy tonight's show.
Okay, tonight is our 177th show, and the title of the show is Rescue K911. And our guests are Val and Gina Quiroga. Welcome.
Welcome. How are you?
Welcome.
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 Hi.
Good to have you here.
You too.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hi.
Okay. Well, we are going to let Val and Gina each of them give us a little background about themselves to lead to what this show is all about. They're very strong fighters for animals, as we are, as you know that. So Val, tell us a little bit about your background, what you do.
I'm a North Haven police officer. I'm actually currently the president for our police union. I've been there for 11 years. Married to my wonderful wife, Gina. We have two twin 7-year-old children, boy and a girl, Gianna and Luciano, which are going to be very excited that I said their names on TV.
Hi, Gianna and Luciano. I love those names.
We are actually, this was all brought on to me by my wife. She's the animal lover who actually got me going. And currently, we are putting all our efforts at this point, I'd say, most of what we do outside of work and the children is right now Rescue K911, fighting for animals, and to try to educate people on some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight, which is the food and farming industry, animals, the mistreatment of animals.
Okay, and I understand you started a calendar at the
We
police
did,
station?
yeah. We have. We're currently working on it. My wife is really the backbone to it. She does most of the stuff. I just help her organize. But we're doing a rescue calendar with dogs, rescue dogs, and police officers to try to bring some attention to the issue currently that we have with animals and the rescue dogs in the shelters. And my wife, this was really her idea, was to bring some positive light onto the world of law enforcement, because right now it seems like everything we do is held in a negative light.
I know.
So,
That is awful.
yeah, it's a
I know.
two-pronged
I really,
effort here.
I know. I really, really, really am so in disagreement with what the people are doing right now.
It's horrible.
Putting you down, and when they need you.
Right.
When they need you is a
Right,
whole
of course.
different story.
Exactly.
I put policemen, firemen, and the soldiers in the same category. They all are there to
Right.
save our
Sure.
lives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
An EMS.
You know? Huh?
An EMS.
Yes.
Oh, an EMS, of
EMS.
course. EMS. Gina,
Yeah.
tell us about yourself. How did you get started with
Hi.
the animals and the love and the diet?
So
and all that?
I've always loved animals since I was little. And basically I got into all of this when I was pregnant and started realizing about what goes into our food and, you know, the mistreatment of animals. And I got involved with rescue animals because when we were looking for our dog, I started finding out about how many dogs were getting euthanized due to lack of space in shelters. It made me sick to my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
So I spoke to him, and we have to do something. What can we do to raise awareness? And it's a huge issue in every state. It doesn't seem like it stops anywhere.
No, it doesn't.
And it's absolutely overwhelming to see how many dogs, cats, all animals need our help.
They're bringing
So-
a lot of them up from the south
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
noticed too.
They
Yeah.
definitely are. And it's just everywhere.
I'm not even sure why that. A lot of people say the South.
They're worse. with
Yeah, I
their
don't know
kill
what it is.
shelters.
It's much. I think they're as far as euthanizing. I think that the standards down there, they're not as strict. I think they euthanize more than they do up here,
Yeah, I
and they don't have
wonder
as
why.
much space. You know what I mean? I don't know why
Yeah.
it is a bigger issue. It is an issue here too, but like you said, we actually got one of ours from South Carolina. So
Ours, yeah, my dog. One's from Georgia and one's from Tennessee.
yeah, it's a
Right.
big problem down there. So we
And
have
it's
to
funny
help.
how it is, why that is. It's poor parts of the towns or what?
It could be that. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people get involved and then they don't realize that's a big issue that we push on people too. Is we're not trying to just adopt out a dog here and say, hey, take it. As long as the dog's out of the shelter, that's all we care about.
No.
Absolutely not. I mean, we tell everybody before, especially if you've never had a dog, take some time, think about it. Do your homework on the breed. Everybody says rescue dogs are the best. They are. They're loyal, they love, but still do some homework on the breed. Go online, talk to your friends about expenses, because that's the issue. They adopt, then, oh man, I didn't know food was going to be this much. Oh man, I didn't know vet bills were going to be this much.
I didn't know
and
I had to
then,
spay and neuter.
Yeah.
then before you know,
And
can you take this dog back?
There's a litter
Or
of puppies.
they open the door and they let
Let
the
it
dog.
go. Yeah,
Right.
get a lot of
A
that.
lot
too.
of that I've seen, and I've seen a lot of people surrender their dogs when they get older.
Right.
They don't want
Right.
to take care of them.
The
They don't
vet
want to pay
bills.
the
Yeah,
bill.
it's
And all
horrible.
that. Yeah, that makes me sick.
I
Because
know.
that
It's
dog
horrible.
has loved you
Yeah.
all its life, and now when it needs you, you drop
Exactly.
it off.
Right.
And imagine,
There has to be stricter laws for
Yeah.
that.
I don't know, I put myself, I guess, in the dog's shoes and think
Me
how
too.
scared
Right.
and how confused they must be
Yeah.
to just, what did I do?
Well,
Besides
yeah.
love you for your whole life.
Karma
and you
goes
just,
with animals too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Karma goes
Of course.
big time with
Of
animals.
course.
Oh, it's so sad.
It's horrible to think about it. It really
Yeah.
is. But like you said, you have to. They're such intelligent animals, but at the same time, they can't figure out. Whereas me or you or any human being will say, "Well, they dropped me off, they left me," and we'll go through all the scenarios in our head on why that might have happened. A dog doesn't know that. A dog just knows that this individual who's been my favorite person forever
It's
left
in a
me.
new
No matter how you
environment.
treat him, remember, you could treat this dog horrible. You're still his favorite person or her favorite person. They love you so much.
It's unconditional love.
They're
Right.
just thinking to themselves, he left me. And that's it. So there's the confusion. Like you said, you put yourself in the dog's head, and it's scary. You don't even want to do it because it becomes so much anxiety comes with it. Like, imagine what that dog is going through. You know what I mean? It's horrible. So,
That-
yeah,
that
it's
was
the
a
only
good
way you really
point.
get it.
Yeah, that's a good point she made. Actually, and I try to tell people that. Put yourself in that animal's paws, if you
Yeah.
want to say.
Right.
Right.
Dog, cat, whatever. Put yourself in their head. Don't think of them as just... See, the thing that has come down through the years, and it actually started with the Catholic Church, which said that animals don't have souls. So people think that... I don't know what they think animals are made of, or what they think.
That's
They think
Right.
they don't have emotions, feelings. Well, that's been proven wrong.
Right.
Oh,
We know
yeah.
in our business that there are a lot of people out there who just think that animals don't have those kind of feelings, or
Right.
it's okay to eat them. That's what they're there for,
Right.
that
Right.
kind of thing.
I would,
Right.
I
there are
would
a lot
argue.
of people in our line of work like that.
I would argue all day with somebody that there are way more people out there who don't have souls as opposed to animals.
Yeah.
Right.
I really
Don't
would
act
all
like
day.
Yeah,
they have
that's
souls.
true.
Yeah.
Because the animal, if we just use a dog as an example, a dog, as long as it's not been put through anything traumatic to cause it to act a certain way, if it's just a normal dog in a normal scenario, have you ever met a dog that just not filled with love? I mean, just unconditional love.
Yeah.
I mean, the dogs, as smart as they are, they're so simple. They love you. They have a very narrow range of emotions. They love, they get upset, but they don't have to go through all the other things or deal with all the other stuff we do. So to say they don't have a soul, to be honest with you, the fact that they can be so simple like that gives me more proof that they have a soul, because their primary feeling is love.
And also,
You know what I mean?
a
That's
lot
all
of
that they just
dogs,
love.
when they're in shelters, they get distressed, like humans do. When they're upset, a lot of them won't eat, they get so skinny. They face the wall. They're in the corner. You'll see that they're
Get
shaking.
depressed.
So you know it's something
I don't know
going on.
how people can say that.
I know. I don't know where the heart is for people when they treat dogs badly. Well, I know what it is. I know what it actually is. It's a control issue.
Sure.
The person is mentally
Right.
disturbed. They have control issues. Anyone who would beat up a dog, kill a dog, torture a dog, have sex with a dog,
Right.
anything that they do,
Yeah.
Or
There's-
fight a dog. Fight a
or
dog.
fight
fighting.
dogs, yeah.
Right.
Anything like that. Put them in cages. Anything
Right.
that they do that's wrong for the animals.
Right.
And not just dogs, but all animals.
Right. Of course.
All right? There's something wrong up here, and it's a
Right.
control issue. I'm doing it to you because I can.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And they have no heart and soul.
There has to be
Exactly.
something.
I have it on good authority. Animals have souls, and when they pass over, they also go up to
Oh, of
heaven.
course. What would heaven
Exactly.
be without a dog or
That's
a
right.
cat
Right.
or let's say what would heaven be without an animal?
That's
Right.
right.
Come on, wouldn't be a heaven for me.
My
And everybody
kids are
says
waiting for me,
heaven is what everybody's heaven's a little bit different. Well, my heaven would not be a heaven without animals.
Me
in it.
too.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Right.
you know what I mean?
I'd say, wait a minute, this is no animals. No, find me
Right.
another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I want another
You know
heaven.
what? I'm not in
Wherever
heaven.
they are,
What
say
did I
yeah.
do?
Exactly.
I did something wrong. What do I need to do to fix it? Because
Right.
I know I'm not in heaven
Right.
yet.
That's right.
I'm in that middle stage. Like you said when we spoke
Yeah,
last.
there's levels. Yeah, to
I'm
go
not
to.
at the top level yet,
No.
so let's figure this out because I need to
Right.
get up there.
Yeah, exactly. And animals will come.
Let's get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
Get her done.
That's it, you know? Because, right, heaven, like, she says them to me all the time, the poems and the little, phrases they
Rainbow
have that about the animals and the dogs crossing over.
Yeah.
Nothing
Oh,
touches
yeah,
you
the
more than
rainbow
thinking about your dog, seeing a dog that you loved your whole life when you do pass over in heaven. I mean, how can you say dogs don't have souls or dogs aren't up there with us?
All the animals are there.
Yeah, of course.
Every
Right, any
single
animal, of
cows,
course, right.
pigs, sheep,
Right.
Yeah, of
lambs,
course.
everything. You name it.
It's
Chipmunks,
just,
squirrels,
Exactly.
birds. They're all
They're-
there.
Right.
They're
all
have
God's creatures. He
Right.
put them
Right.
there, so.
God created everything on this planet. Anything that breathes, anything that moves, even if it's an ant,
Sure.
God
Exactly.
created it.
Right.
Right.
We have no right to take its life.
Right.
No right at all.
Right.
None.
I agree.
Step over the ants.
Right.
Leave the
That's what I
anthills
used to
alone.
do.
I'm a little iffy on mosquitoes.
Well, nowadays with everything they
Yeah.
got,
You gotta worry about
every other day we got a new
If the
mosquito-borne
reflex
disease. So,
Black carpenter ants.
Yeah.
They like to eat your house.
but we say that everything you remove. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day. You remove the smallest insect in the world from the equation, and the ripple effect is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you think
Everything
that's
is
cool?
put here for a reason.
Was that
Balance.
accidental?
You're right. That's a good.
I don't think so.
A
I
good
just saw-
thought
I
you
mean,
put up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Good,
saw
excellent
something on
thought.
Facebook about getting bat houses now to try to bring the
Oh,
bat
bats are
population
great.
back.
Oh,
Bat,
really?
sure.
And you can get bat houses and put them in a tree in the far corner of your yard,
Wow.
and they eat like 1,000 mosquitoes. A
Wow.
night.
Or just we're having a
One
mosquito
bat
problem.
Wow.
eats, yeah.
Wow,
Bring in
that's
another
Yeah, so
animal
bring
to
in
fix the
bats, and
problem.
they're not a big problem, you know.
Right.
They have their own little house.
Maybe we
they-
should
Right.
let the animals and the world. Remember, God created everything, and He created a solution for every problem. We as human beings love to think we need to intervene to fix it. There's a solution out there in nature.
Excellent.
There's a solution to the mosquito problem. It's called a bat, or it's called another animal.
Instead of
we think
pesticides
you know what?
and
Let's
everything
spray everything.
Right.
We'll fix the mosquitoes when you could bring in a beautiful animal to fix. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
So
Right.
we've created the issue by thinking we always need to intervene. You
And
know
we're
what I mean?
destroying their habitats.
Yes, and bats
In the
need a big
meantime.
help. Yeah.
My
The
friend
bees.
just came back from Ireland, and I said, how is it? He says, it's beautiful. He said, they have sheep. Lots and lots and lots and lots of sheep. They don't have lawnmowers or anything like that.
You don't
Sheep
need
eat
them, right?
grass.
Right.
No.
That's great.
It's perfect.
I know. I
That
told
was
them
what, that's what she wanted.
I keep trying to get my
Well, that
husband
was
to buy
my
a sheep.
reasoning.
Yeah. Talking about getting a lawnmower, she said, why don't we get a couple sheep or a couple
Yeah.
goats? I was like,
There you go. That's
Yeah.
right. The goats will do it too. The
I
goats
know.
will eat it up too.
and they say you really will never have to mow your lawn.
No.
They eat it all.
Yeah.
No, you just need a shovel and a scoop.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
you,
fair
and
trade.
you
That's
have
a fair trade.
compost.
Yeah,
know.
compost
Yeah,
it,
that's
right?
true.
It's a win-win here.
I know. That's true.
Good for the veggies.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking, we were talking about that. We want to do with the dog rescue, but we want to get with the food after too about that same
Sure.
thing. So let me finish up with this thing about the animals here. So why do you think people buy animals from breeders or pet stores instead of rescuing? Why can't they get it through their head that they
I think
rescue.
because people are so fixated on wanting to get a purebred dog. They want to see both of the parents, and they want to know that they're getting these perfected bloodlines when they're all inbred with each other, which I think is gross. Or they want to go to a pet store because there's a variety of puppies that you could get right then and there. And they're not thinking about where these puppies came from. They're not thinking about the puppy mills that their parents are living in, that they're in cages for their whole lives and just being bred and bred and bred.
For money.
And then put to sleep as soon as there's no use for them anymore.
It's an instant gratification. Sometimes
Yeah.
I mean, you go to a puppy pet store. I want my dog. I want my cat now, and they're
Right.
there. And you know how human nature. You love to go into a place, see it, pick it out, and take it home.
Right.
With a rescue, you can't necessarily do that because most responsible rescues are gonna look through your background. They're gonna do a check. They're gonna say, okay, you know, that's great. You want that dog? Great. We want you to take it, but we have to do some homework now. We got to do a home check. And then we have 7-year-olds. You explain to ours know better by now, but you explain to 2 7-year-olds, oh, we can't take the dog home right now. What do you mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so at the pet
yeah.
store, you go and
You're
you're
right.
taking it
Instant
home.
gratification.
Or
You know what I
they
mean?
most of them wait until the dog is spay-neutered.
Right. So that's
And
weeks
people
sometimes.
don't want to wait till they're 12 weeks old to be spay-neutered. And it's...
And they all want puppies or kitties.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they do. They
Older-
get puppies, and then as soon as they hit 6 months to a
Yeah.
year, and they realize that they grow, and they cost money as they grow, and they have to get fixed, and all the shots and the vet bills and everything, that's when they end up in the shelters. So we see a lot
I
of
don't
that.
know what it's going to take to get through to people. You know, getting an older dog is great.
Oh, some of them are.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful.
The best.
You know?
And you know there are breeders out there who, you know, I hate to stereotype and group everybody together. There are breeders out there who do a really nice job. They take care of their dogs and they do it the responsible way. The issue is because there's so much money in dogs, we all in any kind of animal, cats, dogs, because people love, you know, they treasure their pets. You get the people that know they could capitalize on it, so then they abuse the situation.
Exactly. You're right about
You know,
that.
you can't, you know, I know people have gotten their dogs from breeders, and they seem like they're great breeders, and they probably do a great job. It's just when you know there's so many animals, cats, dogs, everything, in rescues that are going to be killed if you don't, you know, the breeders, if they don't have the interest, if the people aren't going to them, they're not going to breed. You know what I mean? So we could say, hey, it's not like they're having a litter of dogs and, oh, we have to get rid of them because we already have them. If they're seeing the interest in the purebred and the breeding going down, then these breeders will stop and they won't breed, so we won't have the leftover dogs. So go to the rescue because these dogs are there already.
Right.
They need a place. If you don't take them, they're gonna be killed.
Yeah, we have to tell that. And
know?
when they're in
Go
animal
there.
shelter,
Right.
animal control in each of the towns, they get put to sleep.
Right.
Yeah, they do.
The
It's
mothers,
not like
the
an
pregnant
animal
mothers.
haven or you know these
No.
places that rescue
Right.
and keep them in animal
Right.
farm. These animals get put to
Right.
sleep
There
if
you go.
you don't take them.
They're on the top of the list,
Yeah.
pregnant mothers.
Yeah,
Oh,
They're on
right.
the top of the list.
pregnant mothers get put to sleep. That means everything,
Imagine
babies, everything
And
dies.
also, 2.7 million dogs get euthanized every year in shelters. That's just a generic
Can you
number
imagine
that the
that?
ASPCA.
Is that a national
That's
number?
a ASPCA. Yeah.
I don't, you know, there's probably gonna be people out there that'll watch it and get angry, but
About
it
what?
is a form of genocide if you think about it. I
Oh,
hate
sure.
to use that word,
no, but you're right.
but listen, in our house, people could call us crazy. Animals, human beings, we're all on the same level.
That's
It
right.
really is.
Same
I
in
hate
my
to say
house,
it,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, I know that, you know, God, you trust, you do the right thing. He's never going to put you in a situation where I have to choose between my dog and my, you know, a family member or a person. So for me to say that, I know I could say it because it's the truth, and I know I'm never going to be put in that situation to say I either have to pick that, the animal, or the human being. But we do put them on the same level. So it is a form of. I think we were talking about this when we ate breakfast. It's any other situation. If it was anything other than an animal that was dying at this rate, it would be national news every day, all day.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right
Every
about that.
day,
If
all
they
day.
could speak, they'd have more of
Exactly.
a voice.
Right.
Because they can't speak for
Ex-
themselves.
Right.
I mean, we
That's
just
why
don't
we
understand them.
we speak for
They
them.
communicate.
Right, we
to.
need, yes.
We don't understand them.
Right.
You know, I know for a fact that my dogs they communicate with each other. You know what I mean? And they know what we're saying. So if my dog knows when I come in and I ask my older dog where the younger one is, the older's Opie, the young one's Bo, I say, Opie, where's Bo? He runs right to him.
Yeah.
And he comes right back.
Same
and
in
it's
our
almost
house.
like
Yeah.
he's giving Bo the nudge. Hey, they're here. They're
Right.
here.
Right.
So if he understands me, you tell me they don't understand each other. I truly believe they can. We just don't understand them.
Right.
So imagine that. Imagine if we said, well, these people, they don't speak English. We don't know what they're going to say. So because we can't understand them, we're just going to go ahead and just eliminate
Yeah,
all
let's
of
put
them.
them to
Right.
sleep.
It's just
Right,
another
exactly.
language.
Because we
Right?
can't understand
Right,
them.
It's another
exactly.
language.
Yeah.
It's the language of animals. We just don't understand.
How would that
Exactly.
look?
They
You know?
understand us
Yeah.
more than we think they do.
Yeah,
They know
of
our
course.
emotions, our
Imagine
Exactly.
if you could be in their head. I truly believe you could be in the head of especially the animals in the slaughterhouses and stuff.
Oh.
It would just. I
That's
think
another
people
issue
would-
we
I
have to
do.
get with. If we don't get to it on this show, you're definitely coming back, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that-
we'll
that's a
talk
whole
all about
nother
farm
show.
animals
Yeah.
because that is just it's
That's too sad.
Yeah,
Heartbreaking,
it
yeah.
literally rips me to pieces.
Me too.
horrible.
Me too. But
It
I want
really
to first
does.
finish with the rescue dogs. How do you think that we can make people aware of to rescue? How can we do it? What? I mean,
I think-
Facebook is a wonderful place.
Right. I think
And-
social media
Yeah.
is awesome for that. I mean, we see dogs from other states, other parts of the world because of social media.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the beauty of it. But that's the question that I seriously ask myself every day. What can I do? That's how we came up with the calendar idea, because we are figuring hopefully it's successful and this calendar is going to get into, homes, hopefully a couple hundred homes, and people can see, wow, there is a purebred dog in rescue. Look at how beautiful all of these dogs are. Every dog in every shoe is a rescue dog.
Right.
And to see how gorgeous these dogs are,
So
And
tell us about what what exactly you're doing and what the calendar's about, and maybe
How they
how
can get
people
them, how
can
people
get a
can
calendar.
get by them, or what?
So
what is
we're
this
going to
tradition?
have a launch party on September 10th.
We don't know the exact date. It's going to be the first couple weeks in September. We're going to have a launch party to announce the calendar.
And to show the calendar and the pictures and to...
Where will that be? The launch? We have an actual
Dude,
party.
we're gonna hope to do it at the North Haven High School, the auditorium. Because tell them how we thought about that. Where was it that you saw that they did a calendar? I forgot.
Oh, it was in New Jersey. The firemen do one,
Oh.
but it's a shirtless one.
Oh, yeah.
And
Ours, we
it's
had
the
the-
sexy
We like
man
those.
calendar. Yeah.
you
But
could do a police
police
calendar with
officers,
the dogs.
nowadays can't really do that, because who will
that
have
was
something to
that
say?
was the first. The chief said, "I don't make sure everybody's in fully clothed." I'm like, "Yes, everybody."
We wanted it to be very classy and something that we could
About
be
the
proud
dogs.
of. Yeah, and this is all about the dogs, all about the police officers.
Oh, so it's the police with the dogs
Yep.
and the calendar. Oh,
Yep.
that's
And then we
great.
also feature every month, like September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, so we feature children battling cancer. We did it at a 9/11 memorial to also bring in 9/11. So every month we featured a different organization or
We had like a different focus. The last
Theme.
month we did May Memorial Day. So we
We
had
did
at the
vet-
Memorial Day parade, we grabbed some of our veterans and we took the photo with the dogs, a couple police officers, and our veterans on the town green. We have another one where I don't know if you guys have met him, Hunter Peugeot.
Peugeot.
He has SMART, spinal muscular atrophy respiratory distress.
He's amazing. You
One
should
of
have him
50
on here. Yeah, amazing.
children in the world. He's the most amazing little kid you'll ever meet in your
Yeah.
life. You want to talk about inspiration.
Yeah.
And February is Smart Awareness Month, and so we used him for February. So every month we have something other than the dogs and the officers that we just feature as,
This
a special.
is the police department you're just
Yes,
talking about. Okay.
we're using police officers from all over, North Haven, Hamden, East Haven. I'm on our tactical team, so we're using our TAC guys, which come from all over the shoreline.
West Haven, the ACO from
Yeah,
West Haven.
right. Which she's amazing.
Yeah.
They have an amazing
Animal control.
animal control down there. Oh,
So
man.
you started this rescue K911.
We actually started it. My wife came up with the name, which I loved it. Because I don't know if you remember the old show Rescue 911.
Yes.
That show. So we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, Rescue K911." I was like, "I love it, love it." So it started that was really just going to be the name of our calendar. Then we have a few rescues that we work with ourselves. And we were thinking, maybe we'll actually try starting our own rescue. But then we kind of ventured off and we said, you know what? Maybe a better idea would be to use this money that we raise, create Rescue K911 would actually become a nonprofit who filters money and aids rescues in need. You know, we found a big issue was these rescues are taking in mothers with puppies. They don't have enough kennel space. They don't have enough this. They don't have enough that. Or
And they're
something
sick.
major happens. You know, the water breaks, or a pipe burst, or a bad winter causes something, and they don't have the extra money to fix it. So imagine we said if we're an organization that has a decent amount of money always on the back burner, ready to go, these rescues call you up. Hey guys, listen, we ran into a huge problem. I picked up 2 mothers, 10 puppies. We don't have enough space. You know what? What does it need? Fill out a quick form. We filter you the $5,000 that it takes to build the extra kennels. So we become like an emergency fund
Okay.
for the rescues.
Rescues.
And it just went hand in hand with what we do. When you're in trouble, you call the police officers. When you're an immediate assistance, you don't call us if you think you're going to be in trouble in a year.
Right,
You know,
right,
you call us. So how perfect was that? As soon as a major emergency hits, call Rescue K911. And, you know, obviously with the exception of filling out a
That's
quick
great.
form, we could filter them
And
that
this
money
is-
and take care of it now.
It's
What
all
about-
nonprofit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're not nonprofit yet.
Yeah, we haven't
We're
actually,
working
we're
on
still in the
that.
process of getting the
Yeah.
actual organization
Right.
up and
But,
running.
I mean, you're not making money, so because we don't.
no,
we can't
nothing
talk about
goes.
that.
Not
Yeah,
at all.
nothing goes to anybody.
Now, do you actually have? Is there a phone number that you can get a hold of you, or are you still working on that, getting that
We're-
together?
We have I use my email, our
Okay.
personal emails. As far as a phone number, I always tell anybody if they need to leave a message for me, they call the main line at the police department, the 239-1616. Just ask for Officer Val. They'll forward you to my voicemail.
All right, we're going to give
Do
you
you have
some
a
good
website?
Yeah, it's actually just on Facebook.
Yeah, we have a
A
Facebook page.
Facebook
everything.
page, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you might want to put a website on all this too.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
that way
like the
people
issue
can
it
get a hold of
becomes is because it all started kind of snowballing so quickly, was a money issue. You know, we're raising the money, but we still have to print the calendars, which is going to cost the money. We use the money to print our T-shirts because we like to have them on hand so we could sell them, which in turn again goes to everything. So I didn't want to, I figured let's see how we do on with these calendars. See how much money we raise. Then, if it really, it's a success, then we'll look into doing that. Maybe we'll actually, if it becomes that big, we'll get a website going. No matter what, I think we want to start the nonprofit, the rescue actual organization. And you know what? If this calendar doesn't generate enough money to really help that much, whatever we could do, we'll do, and then we'll run another fundraiser. We'll keep doing fundraisers until we get the money to
Right.
help. You know what I mean?
I had a thought. What about if you had kept a list along with, like, if you got an emergency call from a shelter of people from different towns who, hey, this shelter on such and such town is
Right.
their water pipe broke.
That's
Your
a great
plumber.
idea.
Can you go out there
Oh,
and
that's a
fix
great
it?
idea,
yeah.
Hey,
She
you're
actually
a
had mentioned
carpenter.
that.
Can you go
Right.
and help? The wall blew out.
Right.
Can you go
Right.
help?
Like
restore
friends
them?
of our
Yeah,
friends of our
like a
organization
list of people
that'll
who could
do
sign up.
volunteer work.
Exactly.
Who could help out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because I would love to
Or
do that. I wouldn't
discounted.
even
Oh,
know where
yeah.
to go.
Right.
I would run in a storm and go help a shelter
Oh,
if
yeah.
I had to.
Right.
But
And
I
you
wouldn't
need
even
that,
know
to
where
be
to
honest
go.
with you. That's
Right.
something that now you say it out loud and we think about it. You need that.
It
Yeah.
takes an army
can't
of
do-
people
Right.
to run a
Takes a
successful.
village, yeah.
I need to be able to say,
rescue.
you know what? Who could I call? Like you said, pull out a list. Where is it? Brantford? Check out who we have, our contacts and our resources in Brantford. I mean, this is all,
So you want to
something-
make this a statewide thing, right?
Oh, we would help
is great.
anybody, anywhere.
Especially
Absolutely.
because there's no money. People think because there's a $500 adoption fee.
Oh, yeah.
Rescues do not make money.
Glad you brought that up.
They
Yeah.
do not make any money at all.
Nothing.
These dogs, one puppy can run thousands of dollars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, there's a $500 adoption fee. That's a lot. And I'm just throwing a number out there. And that is nothing.
Well, that's
if
what
you
I
bring
paid
your
for
dog
mine.
to a vet, you see how much it costs.
One
so
parvo outbreak,
imagine,
10 grand.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And that's the difference of life and death, you know? People can't afford a parvo outbreak. They have to put the dog to sleep because of money, so
And they're coming from down south. Don't forget, they're
they
coming
don't
from
take
places
care of
where,
them at all.
and,
They all get kennel cough. They all
Yeah.
have worms. They
and the
all
defense
have
of them,
issues.
of the animal control officers and the shelters down south and even the shelters here. You have to remember, they're bombarded. I know our shelter, he's overwhelmed. We know Dave personally, and he's by himself. He has Crystal, who's part-time. They do a great job. They really do. They work with us great. They're both, great people. They do great animal control officers, but they're overwhelmed.
Do they have any volunteers?
No, nothing yet, which I'm glad you brought that up, because we were
Right.
talking about earlier.
They should definitely have a volunteer program.
We tried to start a program. Mike Frieda, our first selectman, is amazing. He sits on the Animal Welfare Task Force in the state of Connecticut. He's a huge animal lover. But in the town of North Haven, everything goes to a vote. Which is a good thing. The townspeople have say on everything. So to get another animal control officer full time to help Dave needs to be approved. That's a lot of money. And in order to have a volunteer program, you need a paid animal control officer at the shelter 24/7, or at least whenever the volunteers are there. So it would be great if me and Gina could just go there and say, "Hey, come on down. We'll be in charge of the volunteers," but we can't do that. So in order to get that volunteer program up and running, we need another animal control officer, which Mike Frieda has been, trying his hardest. I know Dave, the animal control officer, is on board. It's just, like anywhere else, it's a money issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Mike's going to be on the show in a couple weeks.
He
We're
does a
gonna
great
talk
job.
about
Sure,
this.
Great job with the
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
Now, I also learned that Hamden does not have their own animal shelter,
Right.
so or control. So they bring their animals that
They
they
do.
find to North Haven.
Right.
Yep.
North Haven's not big enough,
Right.
so the ones that are at North Haven, they're bumped up,
Right.
and they put to sleep. And they
Right.
put to sleep.
Yep.
Every time Hamden brings a dog to North Haven, an animal from North Haven gets
Right.
put to sleep.
Sure.
Right.
Until those Hamden dogs pass that and all the North Haven, it's not right.
And I urge
It's
anybody.
not right. I
who's
don't
gonna-
know why Hamden doesn't have their own
What
shelter.
happened
to
I don't
Maryfield?
understand it.
I adopted Sammy from Maryfield.
I don't know what happened to their
Yeah,
their
something happened.
their building or
'cause
their
that was
original.
15 years ago,
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
no
where I
more.
adopted him from. I
Right.
always go to the shelter
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And I urge anybody who sees the show, whether now, months from now on YouTube, anything that can be done, even if it's just when you see one of our town elected officials, letting them know we need this animal shelter.
Every town
the
should have
increase.
one.
Yeah.
It should.
And there's nothing wrong with maybe, because this is where everything is going now. And the police departments and the fire departments, you'll know as EMS, everything is regionalizing. There's more money in it. Federally, you have there's a lot more money that you have access to, because now you're not just covering North Haven. For example, I spoke earlier about our tactical team. There's 6 towns. Our traffic squad is 6 towns. We cover the whole shoreline, us, North Branford. So there's nothing wrong with North Haven wanting to merge with Hamden, but you can't take the animal shelter that was taking care or responsible for North Haven and now say, oh, we're going to add Hamden, which
Right.
is much larger in population and all that, and say, oh, we're going to go ahead and just squeeze everything. That's like telling me and my wife, hey, you two, 3 more kids, 2 husbands, and 5 cousins, you guys are going to go ahead and move into our house. Oh, we're going to put everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Just give us a
Yeah.
bigger shelter, and it would be fine. Nothing wrong with sharing with Hamden.
Yeah,
More
if you get
space.
big enough for
Exactly.
like 2 shelters,
I'm
as it
surprised
is.
they don't have
Right.
their own shelter
We got to get
anymore.
somebody
I know.
from Hamden. We got to ask them, why do you not have your own shelter?
I know, it's something that-
Good
yeah.
question.
Probably
You
a
know?
financial
I will
issue,
give
would
Hamden a
imagine.
lot
Well,
of credit. They are
They
they
got
weren't
things
killing.
Yeah.
Hamden, no, they had a big issue. Something happened. I don't want to speak without knowing the exact details, but something happened, and now Hamden is very wary of killing. They really go above and beyond and really try their best to get these dogs going out. So that helped, because when they came over, I think it was like, okay, this is how Hamden's doing it. So now I think it helped a little bit with us. Obviously, the dogs still get euthanized, but if it's a difference between like you were saying earlier, we don't know the exact day. Say you have to wait 7 days before you could euthanize. Maybe now they'll wait 10, because I know Hamden isn't as quick to do it. They might go the extra mile. So that was a little bit of a benefit, but obviously the cost
wait.
outweighed the benefit big time.
Were you saying Hamden didn't kill?
They had an issue where they were killing, and like you said, the
They
animal
didn't have a
rights.
shelter. Where did they put them?
No, this was earlier.
Oh, but when they had a shelter?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
They had a
Something happened
shelter
where
at Maryfield.
They weren't. I don't know if it was maybe the way they were doing it.
It was
but they
the
caught
way
some.
they-
I think that it wasn't. It
was
hit
the way.
part of the community a little wrong, so they changed the way they do things, and now they're not as quick to euthanize.
Okay.
Obviously, you're right. It has
Was it
to be
worse
done.
than injection?
I don't know what they were doing. This was a while ago already. Like I said, I don't know what happened. But,
So somehow, some way, the money that was going for these animal places to went to the wind or something. The town or whatever decided that they couldn't have this anymore, right? And
I know Hamden financially, the town was is not in a great place. So I know maybe that's the issue is they can't allocate the funds. And you know how it is. Nobody's gonna allocate funds for an animal.
You know what we did? We do in West Haven now, and it was working for a while until one of our officers got in trouble. But we take all our returnables, all our cans, everything. I put them in bags. Every time the bag gets full, we put them on the deck. When we got 5 bags, we drop them off at the shelter.
Oh,
Wow, that's and then you use the money to.
And they use they're supposed to. One of the officers was taking the cans, but they stopped.
That's a good idea,
yeah,
though.
but then so all the money from the cans and all that went to buy food for the animals at the shelter. So anybody
That's a
who
great
has
idea. That's
a great
spare
idea.
cans and
Yeah.
instead of throwing them in the recycling bin, even the water bottles are 5 cents now.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Put them in a bag and bring them to your local
Every-
shelter because
Right.
they could use that to
Everything
buy
helps when it
extra
comes to the
money.
shelters, the money. You know, we run so many fundraisers. My wife, when we met, it was amazing because every time we would, talk to each other, we'd be like, wait a second, you do that too? Yeah, I do that. And one of the big ones was fundraising. And she was like, wait, you like the fundraiser? I was like, yeah,
How did you meet?
We met at the North Haven Fair.
Yeah.
It was, I'm going to tell the story. It was, I was actually there, and all the guys kept coming in. We were all waiting at the front till the fair actually got started.
I was working at
she
the
was setting
fair.
up. She had a stand.
I had a suntan spray can booth.
So all the guys kept coming in and going. They're all like whispering in each other's ears. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? You got to go in tent 1. There's a girl. She's setting up a booth over there. You just got to go. I go, oh my God. Will somebody go talk to her already? Stop talking, all you guys. Go talk to her. No. I was like, all right, I'll go talk to her. So I went over there and I dropped some horrible line. Like, I was like, hey, you need somebody to watch her stuff because I'll take up with that for you.
I think you should give me your number.
Yeah, so I want to give me her number in case somebody steals some spray can. And she's like,
I'm like, okay.
yeah, so I'm like, wow. I thought I still had it. I'm like, I still got it. I was like, yeah, and then
Great.
I think we were married less than a year later.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great. Great
Yeah.
story.
You know, when people say, like we were talking about before about souls and God, and before I met my wife, I wasn't the most religious guy, but meeting her, just we both were in different places in our life, probably not the best places in the world, and I was at a point where I was like, man, is there really, this whole, there's a match for everybody. Like, God, that's a bunch of hot, and I don't believe any of it. And then I met her, and everything just fell into place. And now, even with this, how we have so much in common. How things that I wasn't really passionate about, that she was, it was so easy for me. It was almost like I just needed her to show me that I was this passionate about the animals and about the health food and about.
And he stopped eating meat.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of slack for it.
Meat eater.
Yeah, well,
and I didn't think I'd be able to turn him, but I turned him.
And look how healthy he is.
Exactly.
Look how healthy
I know.
he
You
is,
should
everybody.
stand up and turn around.
He doesn't eat meat. Look how healthy he is. Look at how healthy they both
I
are.
know. Look at these arms.
You know what? In our field, I think I had told you this before. I have guys at work. Don't eat meat. I eat meat 4 times a day. I'm like, I know. Listen, it wasn't easy, but I have her. She does all the homework. She looks up the recipes, and she makes sure, that we're always eating something. Once you get used to it, it's really,
You don't miss
honestly, you start to realize we were designed to eat this way. We were not designed to eat that much meat.
No.
And I said it to you when we first met, how everybody says, oh, well, human beings had always eaten meat. No, you're right. They have. They used to hunt it. They'd get a big kill, and then that meat would go to everybody, the whole tribe or the whole town or the whole camp, whatever it was. Everybody would eat. But it was a delicacy. It was something that, wow, we got some meat. It wasn't let me gorge on a giant steak every day. It was
Yeah.
something that
Right.
And they gave
it was a
things.
treat
Yeah,
you got once in a
exactly.
while.
That's right.
But
Once
we
in a
were
while.
created. That wasn't what we were put on. That's not what
No,
we're primarily
they
supposed to
grew
eat.
everything they
Right,
ate,
of course.
grains and
Most of
vegetables
them,
and
And
yeah.
you'll
everything.
see anybody who eats meat primarily now. I encourage try it for a week, a few days.
Or
You'll
one
see the
day a week.
difference.
Yeah, just
Just
try
the
one
way
day
you
a week.
feel.
Meatless Monday.
And after a while,
Meatless
then try
Mondays.
2 days a week. And
Right.
then after a while, try 3 days.
Right.
You
Just
will feel so
try.
much better.
And
Yeah.
for even with us, I mean, it took years to really cut everything out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just start with one animal, maybe that you don't eat so much,
Right.
you know, one thing at a time, and then you find that you're living, you're breathing.
You're doing great. You actually feel
and
better.
you're okay. It's the first thing that people say when they find out that you don't eat meat. Are you getting enough protein?
Yeah.
Oh,
As if, were you
That's
tracking your
my
protein
pet peeve.
before?
how do you
Yeah.
get your protein?
Yeah.
You're right. Because the only source of protein is a pig or a cow or a chicken. You're right. There's no other protein
Right.
in the world. How am I getting my protein? I have no idea.
Right.
But honestly, if you say to them,
My blood work has never been better, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. I've never felt
she
better.
says you cut out one animal. It's a great. For us, it's kind of started with pigs, because she loves pigs.
I want one.
So when we first started doing this, it was how can I eat a pig? And we talked about this. People say to me, people talk about the Asian cultures and some parts of Asia that where dog is eaten. Okay, they don't consider a dog over there a pet like we do. So they eat the dog. Here we don't really consider a pig a pet, so we eat it. But the pig is the fourth smartest animal in the animal kingdom. Many smarter than most dogs. An amazing pet, but we're eating them. We're raising them. We're impregnating them, giving birth to them, raising them strictly to murder them so that we could eat them.
Right.
It's very disturbing. So if you say to yourself, you know what, the pig is that, just consider it a pet. If you just change your mind frame like that and say, you know what, okay, I'm going to start looking at a pig like I look at a dog. It's going to, in my eyes, it'll be a pet. You'll stop eating it, because what will happen is you'll start looking at the animal differently, start realizing how intelligent it is, how loving they are, and you'll say, how could I have ever eaten a pig? Any animal disgusts me, but that's a great one. When people say to me,
Start
bacon,
with something, yeah.
I'm like,
Anything.
how
Bacon,
can
yeah.
you eat
Oh,
bacon?
bacon,
The
everything,
pigs
bacon.
are Esther the pig on Facebook.
Yeah, I've been
I
watching.
love her.
I've been
my-
watching that.
You,
yeah.
I could cry when I watch her rolling around in that little
I
kiddie
know.
pool. And you would
And, you know,
slaughter one
alls-
for some bacon?
Alls I think
Yeah,
is
they would.
she is
There's
so
a lot
lucky.
of people that say, "Oh, I just."
She's so
I just saw a
lucky.
comment there that somebody made. They posted it on one of our EMS pages, and he goes, "Oh, that would bring me in this many pounds of bacon and this and that and the other thing." And I'm like,
It
Ugh.
makes
on.
me so upset.
But what made
How
you
could
look into the whole factory farm to learn more about that? I mean,
That was all her.
it was.
I always followed PETA
Oh,
and stuff
okay.
like that. And as you know, PETA is very hardcore. They go above and beyond. And I used to always think, wow, these people are so extreme. I
Yeah, just
don't
shock and awe.
understand how these people are, getting naked and wrapping themselves up in Times Square in cellophane like they're animals. And meat, I should say. And seeing all of this, I understand how they're so, why they do all of that.
Yeah, why
because
they're
it's so emotional and you're so filled with emotion. You just want to get the word out, and people don't want to hear it. They've been eating meat since the beginning of time, you know? It's all that they know.
But it's
And
different now. It's what they're
It's so
doing.
much
different.
different.
You know,
What they're doing
growing
in those
up,
factories.
I'm Italian. I grew up eating meat and everything, and I was always under the impression that they lived on farms. They lived on grass.
It's not farms
they
anymore.
ate grass. They, died at 16 years old, and that's where the meat came from,
Old
because they
age, yeah.
died.
No,
you
no
know,
more.
and now where I see them crying, and their face, the terror in their eyes bothers me more than the actual slaughter. And it's
They
so
know they're going.
Oh, it's horrible. And they're being raised just to be killed.
Yeah. You
and
see-
they're artificially inseminated with somebody's hand.
Yeah, it's
So
not a-
they're not even,
yeah.
it's not, nothing is
natural. Nothing's
natural
natural,
about
right.
any of it.
Nothing.
They're growing full grown. At 6 months old, these animals are full grown and being slaughtered. So it's not like they're even living to a year, 2 years, 3. 6 months old, they're being impregnated for the next piglets or whatever, and then they get their babies taken away, and
It's horrible.
No, I
See, the
can't. I
people-
can't stand it. And you know, people are putting more and more videos on Facebook of how they're being treated in factories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that video you put up today with the baby
Oh, it's
chickens,
horrible.
I
Yeah.
cannot get that out of how you can take a beautiful little yellow baby chicken and throw it into a grinder.
Alive.
Alive.
You
Alive.
see the baby
Yeah.
duck and
a
the baby,
chicken thrown into a
scrambling
grinder
Right.
alive.
to
I
get out of
can't-
the grinder.
I can't get it out of my
I know.
head. It's
well, you see, they do that in, to pigs. They will put them in boiling water.
alive.
Alive.
Oh yeah.
They
Never understand why they do it alive, but it's all. That's where you start to say, does the mental illness come in there? Is there a reason why you are? Another way they're doing it now is they're gassing the
suffocate
pigs. They're
them.
suffocating them.
Have you seen
So
that?
is there a reason why we haven't come up with a more humane? I mean, listen, it's slaughter no matter which way you twist or turn it. But is there a reason why we're torturing
I
the
mean, the
animals
pig
before we're
is
killing them?
gasping for air. It's suffocating. They put them in these little crates and they put the CO2 on, and it just sucks the life out of them.
It's horrible.
And you're watching complete suffering, and for what?
I can't.
And
I get
that's where-
depressed now when I
Yeah,
see
it's
meat.
horrible.
I can't eat it.
You have to feel
I
guilty
it,
when
yeah.
you're eating it.
Yeah.
And if you're not feeling guilty eating that, something is wrong with
And
you.
people say, why, big thing is how vegans, there's always spoofs on the web about vegans, how they're
Yeah.
always pushing vegan, how they're always, well, it's because you have to understand something. When you're watching a video of baby chickens, baby ducks, being thrown into a grinder alive, okay? Or when you're watching a video of a pig or a cow being tortured, completely tortured, you have to understand how the four of us here who look at the animals, how could we not say, how do you ignore this? How does this not bother you?
I know. I'd like to know
So
how.
I feel like I want to show. Wait a second, no. You must have not seen this. Can you see this?
A lot of people
That's why
don't
we
want
do
to
it.
see it.
Because we're like, how
do
does
the
this not
people
bother
that
you?
do it?
That's the
How
problem.
do the people that throw the baby chicken?
Oh,
in the,
yeah, right.
How did they sleep? How
They're
did
just
they?
immune to it, I think.
Ugh.
It's just a...
I'm sure they take advantage of some people's situations, and they use people who might not be in a great place and might need this or might need that. They need a job. Well, you know what? You need to work, you need money, fine, but I need you to do this. Not to make excuses by any means, but I'm sure that these big factories, and that's what we'll call them. They're not farms. We'll call them factories.
They're factories.
They take advantage of people's situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know how people are when they're desperate. They have to put food on the table for their children. Who knows what they'll do?
That's what it is, because if everybody refused to go and to do that,
Right.
then the factory would stop.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, if everybody stopped eating animals, the factory would stop.
Exactly.
Okay?
Right.
That's the whole big
And a
problem
lot
here.
of people say to me, it's never going to stop, so I don't even know why you bother.
Right,
And
they do.
people
Yeah.
say that to me all the time.
And the people who should be watching these videos, seeing how these animals are slaughtered, because they're the ones that don't watch.
Right.
They won't look.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Don't talk about it in front of me.
Right.
I want to eat my meat, and I want to, enjoy it.
But that's where we get because I want to say to them, wait a second. I just need you to see, you need to understand the gravity of this, how intense it really is.
Yeah.
This isn't just a pig getting
They
a bolt
cry.
or a cow
the
getting a bolt in the
animals
head.
actually
I know.
cry.
I mean, we're talking about torture. We're talking about a chicken farm that is so populated with chickens that they can't move. They cannot take more than one step in either direction.
And their body weight
They're
is so
keeling over.
big
Yeah.
that their legs snap
Yeah.
because they're given these growth hormones to make them so big. Do you ever see, next time you're in a grocery store, compare an organic chicken breast
Right.
to a Purdue breast.
Right.
And you will see the significance. And
And you must remember that when you're eating that animal, you are consuming all those hormones.
Oh,
You are
absolutely.
consuming the
Absolutely.
food they feed them, which is GMO, corn, soy, and
Right.
wheat.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Filled with pesticides. You're
But also
consuming all that.
I started having a problem with when I stopped eating red meat. I don't eat red meat anymore, but I'm working on the other stuff like you
Yeah.
say. It takes
Yeah.
time.
Hey,
but
one
I
step at a
started
time,
having
right.
a problem where if I had a steak, I would feel I don't know if I would feel what they were feeling when they were killed, but I would feel something like
Right.
horrible.
Wow.
Like I would feel fear, I would feel depression, I'd have all these
Guilt.
weird feelings.
Getting
Sure.
a vibration.
Right.
I must
from the
have,
animal.
yeah,
That-
maybe because I'm more
that comes
sensitive.
too, you
I
know.
don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the animal suffered, the fear and the misery
Right.
and the
I started
horrible,
feeling that in my
you
gut.
absorb that
Yeah.
in your body
I
when you
believe it.
eat that animal.
Right.
Well,
You
you're
absorb
starting to put
emotions.
Right.
you put the cow and the pig and the chicken, you put them higher than most people. So to you, you're saying, like, oh my God, am I okay with what I'm doing? Am I okay with the fact that this cow was not? Let's make sure that we get this correct. They're not just killed. These pigs, these cows, these chickens, they're not just killed. They are tortured. Most of them are tortured because their whole life
They
coming
all
up
are.
until they are killed, right, is torture. A pig that is 4 feet long by 2 feet wide is in a cage that's 3 feet long by 2 feet wide. So you tell me how you shove a 4 foot long pig into a 3 foot long cage. They do it, and then that pig's not just there for a little while. That pig's in there all day, every day until he's killed. So he's tortured. We can't just say, oh, it's me. So my point being, you now say to yourself, I'm not okay with this animal, this cow, being tortured so I could have my red meat. So that's, I think, like you said, where you now are finally starting to feel the animal because you put it on another level. You're actually caring about that animal like you would care about a human being. You wouldn't be okay with having a slab of thigh, human thigh, because you'd be like, oh my God, somebody had to die for this. You're looking at the cow the same way. Oh my God, a cow
You know
had to
what
die for this.
bothers me?
The
Oh, God.
what people call veal, which is really
Oh.
calves, are taken away from their mothers
Horrible.
at birth,
Right.
put in this little bitty cage, dark cage, and
Dragged.
left there.
They're dragged.
They're dragged away. They can't have their mother's
Crying
milk.
and
Right.
No muscle
screaming.
And the
I
tone.
saw
mother
that.
screams
They
for
want
I
to
saw
them.
the video
They
of that.
can't
Oh my
move
God.
so that they'll be soft
me
and
sick.
milky, so you'll have
That's
nice,
what they want.
tender meat. That poor little thing stays in there for months, not that long.
Right.
Tortured.
Tortured, and then
Right.
it's taken out and slaughtered. And they put him in this. They tie him up in this thing and sit him up, and they
Yeah.
cut
I
their neck.
showed that to my
Right.
husband, and he doesn't know. He used to love veal. He no longer
can't.
eats it.
Right.
And
I
you know,
mean,
Well,
people
that's
are-
great. Good for him.
I know.
Good for him.
People are going to
Thank
say to
God.
us all the time, I know, people will see this, especially in my profession, and they'll laugh.
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
like, oh, you're a this, you're
Give
a
you-
tree, you're
yeah,
a,
bust
you're
your
this.
chops.
Yeah, because, oh, come on, what happened? A lot of you have been saying, what happened? Oh, you don't eat meat. Listen, say all you want.
I think it's a tough guy.
An
thing,
animal,
some
I'm
of them.
sorry, but it's just, I can't, the animals they have feelings, they have souls.
The difference is now you actually see people are undercover.
Yeah,
Right,
God
that's-
Yeah,
bless
I
you.
think people
everything.
don't know the severity, and that's
know?
what needs
Right.
to get out there. Like you say, that,
And it,
and you
and
posted
it is
the
getting
videos.
out there.
God bless these people.
It
who
has
can
to get
go
out
there.
there.
And take
I
those
mean, I
pictures.
hate
I know.
posting
Oh, I would
that
never
stuff
do
on
that.
my
I know.
No, go
Facebook
up there and
page.
start beating them up.
Me too. I know.
Yeah.
Be no
I know.
good.
That's
I
why I don't own a gun.
I know.
That's
I
why I
know.
don't own a
See Rosemary
gun.
dragging them out. I'll show you.
She would be.
Yeah.
But seriously, one
exactly.
video was for me. And my mother always breaks my stone. She says, and we joke around, and, oh, Valley's so sensitive. But you know what? In a way, I am. One video, and I was like, I just couldn't. I was like, you know what? The fact that an animal is going through this, I can't do it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't.
You know what hit home with me when we had breakfast the other morning, and you said to me, "Oh, I wanted to have a hamburger," and then I think about the kid dying of cancer who can't eat because he's dying of cancer,
Right.
Right.
and I'm worried about eating that.
Right.
That really
Right.
hit home with me, and
That's how I get
you
through
said
so
it.
much.
How you
Tell
said it,
people.
maybe say it again for them, because that hits home for me. And when I think about that now, I think about what you said. That kid is 10 years old and he's dying of cancer.
we
And
say-
I'm worried about having
Right.
some bacon.
I get
Right.
through it.
You know?
I get through so much. I say to myself, anything. But you're right. When I was first starting not to eat meat, and I'm like, oh man, I really want this, or oh, it's gonna be really tough. What am I gonna eat today? I said, you know what? We have so many kids that we've worked with that have cancer, and I said, you know what? Think about one of our other children. Think about H. He's got now everything, but he started with bone cancer. Think about H. He's sitting there going through hell, pain,
13.
chemo, and this kid is fighting it, and he's not saying a peep.
Right.
He's just doing it like you can't even imagine. And I'm complaining about the bacon I can't have, and oh, poor me, I can't have a cheese. Get over it, Val. And that's really how you get through so much. 'Cause
Gives
you
me
say,
goosebumps.
Yeah.
think about all these anybody that's going through any major disaster in their life. I mean, we got it good. If
Right.
my issue is like I can't have a hamburger, I'm gonna have to have a quinoa and sweet potato burger. That okay, you know what? It was pretty tasty, and I'm okay. I got my health. I'm doing good. I got my family. Got my friend. Everything's great.
Yeah.
May I
mean?
say, too, that it's not easy to give it up. I know that.
No,
When you first start. Even sometimes myself, I go to a picnic, I'll see hot dogs used to be my favorite thing.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And I'll see that hot dog on the grill. It's a
It's
constant
tempting.
battle every single day. It's a battle,
It is.
not
It is.
easy.
Like
But all I
smoking
do
and
is
drinking.
think about that
change.
animal,
Right.
Right.
and you just can't do it. You
Right.
have to think about it.
Right.
You have to.
That's why I watch those videos, though.
It's a
because
reminder
it
why not to
keeps
do it.
me,
Right.
even though I would never eat it at this point in my life, but it keeps me on that track, and it keeps me motivated for doing what I do. And, this is where I want to be, and I want our kids to be, and our future generations to.
Right.
I don't want them eating meatballs and
Right.
thinking this is great. This isn't great. And animals suffered for this.
Right.
And why is my appetite worth their suffering?
Right.
And in my eyes, it's not. So that's why he can eat it if he wants. I've never told him, no, you're not allowed to eat me.
Yeah.
He chose it
Right, that was
all on
me,
his
yeah.
own,
You said something about you meeting people, when people meet and you two met for each other.
Sure.
Let me give you a little food for thought. Before you incarnated in this lifetime, you decided that you were going to work together for this cause, that you were
Sure.
going to bring awareness to this earth. One of the light bringers, okay? You're two of the light bringers, okay? And you decided you were going to meet up at a certain time in your life when you were going to do this.
When the time was right.
And
Right,
that's
and it
why
was.
you're together.
I truly believe
That
some.
gives me goosebumps.
I
Yes.
tell
Yeah,
her
definitely.
somebody intervened.
Yes, definitely.
Something intervened
No,
somewhere.
you decided before you came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made that. If you got to believe in reincarnation,
Sure, no,
believe
right,
me, but
right.
maybe someday you could, understand
Right.
it. But that's what it is. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Okay,
I mean, I
so
have-
I want you to know that.
That's why
So-
we did all this, and even like I said, the rescue. It's all for eventually
57 supposed
to
be.
be not just for the dogs. Eventually, we would love to just. It's for all animals.
For all animals.
So it's why we talk about Rescue K911, but this all that we talked about today, is Rescue K911. We're trying to help animals.
All right, let me say something really quick because I know we have to have you back. I didn't even get all these questions.
Yeah, we definitely
this
have
was
to
gonna
have you back
happen. We
again.
just
Yeah,
talking.
we're going to have you back very soon. As soon as you guys can make it,
Great,
we'll have you back.
awesome.
We have some dates open. But I wanted to say, what did I want to say? I get so excited.
Not
I want to do
telepathic
so many things at once that, right now, until we have you on again, for people to reach you, it's going to be the contact information. If they want to do something to help and further this cause and do things
Sure.
and help animals, they can get a hold of you
Yes,
at this contact
absolutely,
information.
yeah.
Maybe devise a sign-up list for people to help
Definitely.
sign
Yeah,
up.
right.
A plumber
Definitely.
to sign up. Who knows
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it's a great
Carpenters,
idea.
things
Right.
like that.
It
yeah.
is.
Get in touch with Val or Gina.
Right.
On Facebook. It's called the North Haven Police Union Rescue K911. And that is what the Rescue K911 at
No,
AOL.
2 ones, not 3.
I'm sorry.
K911.
That is our Facebook page. That if they just go onto Facebook and search North Haven Police Union or just
pops
Rescue
up.
K911, it will pop up.
Yeah.
And what's that underneath?
That email is just the email for the rescue
the
K911.
rescue, okay.
Yep. Or they could always, if they needed to leave me a message for something, the North Haven Police Department, very easy to find
it's
the
an
number.
emergency?
Ask for Officer Val. I'm the only Officer Val.
They won't
They'll
mind?
forward you right. No, they
No?
forward you right to my voicemail, and you leave a message, and I'll get back to
Is
you.
that
Okay.
emergency only or anything?
Well,
Not
no, the
emergency.
239-1616, 5321, any of those. The non-emergency number, obviously
Non-emergency.
911 is the emergency. Any non-emergency town number, forward you to the police department. You get my voicemail.
But if
and,
they need to get a hold of you quickly, should they do that? As opposed to if it's just a question, they can go.
yeah, if they
to your
needed to get in
email
touch
or
with me quickly, a voicemail would be best.
Okay.
Yeah, or at email. My wife checks pretty regularly, so that would be pretty quick
Okay.
too.
Yeah, go to that Facebook page, everybody. North Haven Police
Yeah, like
Union.
us on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely.
Comments, videos, anything.
Offer help, anything you
Right.
can do.
The only thing we do urge is, listen, we know everybody has their own opinions, just we're not looking for anybody to come on there and tell us how idiotic we are and any of
Yeah.
that. All
Yeah.
positive stuff. We're positive people.
Right, exactly.
We really are.
Exactly. Well, the people that would do that are just ignorant, and
Right.
Yeah.
you got to pray for them. That's all you
They'll
got
always
to do.
be
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
And our contact information is to get a hold of me, Rosemary. It's phone number is 203-627-7966. Email whitebuffalo8@comcast.net, or my website where you have a fountain wealth of information, www.rosemarylachance.com. And Dina?
You can email me at freewind1@comcast.net, or I'm also on Facebook or Twitter as D Scungio.
All right, we're going to have to say goodnight. We're going over. Thank you so much
Thank
for coming.
you
It was
so
wonderful.
much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
It was
And
wonderful
we will be
having
back
you
very
both
soon.
here.
Very
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you so much.
You guys are the
Good
best.
night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Hasta la vista.
Fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey.